Let me smash.
We need the police down here.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about Mafia 3, particularly reasons why the game sucks. Number 1. Visuals. Let's start with the obvious, the very first thing that hits your upon entering the game. It's not a very pretty game. Now, I'm not saying it's ugly, but it looks kinda bland with everything being grey or green. This game needs some colors. The world itself is incredibly detailed, props to developers for that one, but it's still boring. And the fact that when you enter a certain district it looks the same all over doesn't really help its case. Now, you might argue that I'm not playing on maximal settings, and that is the case, but the difference in the settings is really minimal. I have played on high settings, but I decided to lower them to keep a fluid 60 FPS for recording. Here, let me show you some side-by-side comparison between the lowest and highest setting. In my opinion, there is literally no obvious difference you can point at right away. But feel free to comment on this one, I want to hear your opinion about the comparison. I know some of you might even argue that low looks cleaner, and it runs better, although not much better, which brings us to our next point. Number 2. Performance. Now, this shows the incompetence of the developers the best. The game is not just a failure in graphics department, it's also running very poorly. I mean, at release the game was capped at 30 FPS. That's because most people can't run it over 30 FPS. By the looks of the game, you'd expect Mafia 3 would run perfectly fine on any middle tier PC, but it doesn't. It often struggles to run even on high-end machines, while there are still people that can run it just fine on less high-end. You know what's this called? Bad optimization, one of the worst in recent times. It's obvious this game needed a lot more time to be finished properly. Number 3. Locations. Setting of Mafia 3 is New Bordeaux in 1968. The city is based on New Orleans, which is a charming, colorful city known best for Mardi Gras. How is this a bad thing? It isn't, it's a very good thing in fact. But Hangar 13 somehow managed to make this wonderful location look boring. As I already mentioned, the city looks bland. There is some New Orleans charm to it, but something feels off. It's just not nearly as good as it could have been. But that's not the biggest problem with locations. Once you start in a certain district, each and every single location in the district will look the same. And the fact that you will sometimes have to do a mission at the exact same location multiple times makes it all even worse. Why would I take over a single stronghold multiple times? You know why? Number 4. Repetitiveness. This is becoming a common problem in most new games. Developers are too lazy to actually write a decent enough story with interesting missions, so they try to cut corners by doing something called schematic storyline. In case of Mafia, it pretty much goes like this. Talk to person A who will lead you to person B will give you a set of objectives, and guess what? All those objectives are exactly the same. And after you do them, then you can actually do the real mission. Taking down capos is very fun in Mafia. The mission of killing Olivia Marcano and Remy Duval's funeral is among the best video game fun I've had in a while. Too bad I had to do hours of meaningless stuff to actually get to this point. Do they really take us gamers for fools? The story in this game is worthless, apart from a few missions. Now, I know they couldn't just hand us the missions of killing important people, because we needed to start small. But doing the same stuff over and over again is not a way to go. They could have added diversity in those objectives and not make them feel forced. GTA 5 is a great example of this. Before you do a heist, you also have to fulfill a few objectives, but each feels like a story on its own. It's a great fun and never gets bored. In Mafia, you just walk to an area where bad guys are, kill everything that moves and walk away. No cutscene, no real setup, no feeling importance of killing 20 people. You just drive away to your next equally boring objective. Which brings us to the final point. Number 5. Driving. With a game that focuses on driving as much as this one does, it really should have been a lot better. But oh, it's not Need for Speed, it's a shooting game. No, you spend half of your time in this game driving around, you should feel good doing it. All cars feel the same. Yes, the speeds vary, but the feeling of driving a sports car versus a truck doesn't. Look at this car. Just look at it. It looks like a proper muscle car, a brutally quick machine with its huge exhaust on the sides and that monstrous supercharger protruding to the hood. You want it to tremble when you step on the gas. You want it to light up the rear tires, stick its rear out and zoom away. But no, while the car is undeniably quick, there's no drama to it, and that's exactly what this game needs. If only a little bit more time was added to making of this game, this video would have a very different title. But unfortunately, we got another half-finished product that everyone will forget in a few months. If you made it to the end, congratulations! And thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe for more content, like the video if you agree with me, or dislike if you really hate me for insulting your favorite video game. See you in the next video.